Hi and welcome to 5 Minutes with Kvesti. This time I want to talk about Shadowrun Dragonfall. It was originally expansion to Shadowrun Returns, but it was released as standalone game later. I played the standalone version, which had more content I think and some improvements to that expansion version. If you want to hear my thoughts about Shadowrun Returns, you can find them from here. Story-wise, there is no order in which you should play these games. Shadowrun Returns has different story and different characters than Shadowrun Dragonfall. If you dig deep, you get references to Shadowrun Returns in Shadowrun Dragonfall, but there's no continuing story and there are no spoilers to Shadowrun Returns. But if you want to play both games, then I suggest that you play Shadowrun Returns first, because Shadowrun Dragonfall fixes many things that were wrong in Shadowrun Returns. That's the only reason why you should play Shadowrun Returns first. But if you want to play Shadowrun Dragonfall first, there's nothing stopping you and you won't get spoiled about Shadowrun Returns. My major problem with Shadowrun Returns was that you didn't have your own team. You had to buy Shadowrunners for each mission. In Shadowrun Dragonfall, you have your own team. You can take them to your missions and you don't have to pay anything for your team. But if you want to pay for your team and get different Shadowrunners, then you can do that. Other problem in the first game was that your choices didn't matter. This is also running in a pipe game most of the time, but you can do a few choices that matter. And you can drop some missions if you don't want to play each mission. I think you can drop at least one mission to get all the money that you need for the story run. First game didn't have much Shadowrunning. You were just doing your mission and pay for other Shadowrunners, and in Shadowrun Dragonfall you are actually doing the jobs. And those jobs are not always what you want to do if you are a nice guy. Shadowrun games remind me a lot of Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. They are not as open as Fallout games, but they have this similar feeling. They are science fiction cyberpunk games with fantasy races and fantasy classes, but main emphasis is on cyberpunk and science fiction, and the combat system is quite similar to first two Fallout games. Shadowrun Dragonfall fixes many things that were wrong in the first game, but there's one thing I didn't like in Shadowrun Dragonfall, and that's the final mission. First of all, it's too long. There's a point where antagonist tells what he has been doing and what is behind all of this. The classic bad guy tells everything moment, but that's not before the final battle. You still have to play a little bit before you get to the final battle, and already at that point the mission has been longer than all the previous missions, so it feels like, okay, now I finally get the final battle. But then there's this point that you have to find another way to final battle, and this makes final mission a bit too long. Another thing about final mission is that story-wise they told it that it's suicide mission and you have to be best you can be, but you can only take 3 teammates. At that point you have 6 teammates to choose from if you make correct choices, but you can only take 3 teammates for this mission that is almost suicide mission, and they don't think they are sure that they can make it. For no story reason you can take more than 3 team members. Reason is probably that this team selection screen is only built for 3 teammates, and that's why you can't take all your 6 teammates there. There was at least one mission where you can have 4 teammates and play with 4 teammates, but that one teammate comes during the mission. He is not at the beginning of the mission, but if you make correct choices, you get that teammate during the mission. Overall, Shadowrun Dragonfall is a good game if you are into science fiction and cyberpunk. And if you like your role-playing games with turn-based combat. That was it for this time. See you next time.